broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to Tobago Updates Morning Show. I am your host, Renessa Ortiz, and it's a pleasure to be back here on this Monday morning, greeting you and wishing you a great week ahead. It is Monday, the 27th of July, 2026. Over the weekend, we continued with our Tobago Heritage Festival celebrations. Yesterday, we had the Speyside Harvest, and that is something that is so synonymous to the culture of Tobago, not just during the heritage season, but all through the year. And today, we're continuing with our celebrations as we head to Roxborough today for the reenactment of the Bell Manor riots. I know some of you public servants may be docking work today to attend the festivities, but that's all right. It's all in good spirits of ensuring that we keep our culture here on the island of Tobago alive. Before we head any further into the programming this morning, we head on over to news in 90 seconds. Zari Kerr has claimed the crown as the Tobago 2026 Heritage Calypso Monarch. At the Grand Finals held on Saturday, July 25th at the Plymouth Hard Court, Kerr outperformed 9 other finalists in both the original composition round and the Old Brigade tribute to Lord Nelson. Meanwhile, Chevelle Williams took home the People's Choice Award after receiving overwhelming fan support. The replacement ferry MV Golden Carrier berthed at Port of Spain on Saturday, July 25th, in preparation for joining the Inter-Island Cargo Sea Bridge. On Sunday, technical teams from the Port Authority NIDCO and TTIT conducted onboard inspections as part of the vessel's readiness program ahead of loaded sea trials between Trinidad and Tobago. Candidates who successfully cleared document verification have moved on to Phase 2 of the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard's recruitment drive. Applicants undertook the official entrance examination designed to test knowledge, aptitude, and potential for maritime service as the selection process continues. And finally, Chief Secretary Fali Augustine reflected on what he believes contributes to the success of a good harvest. While checking on his sponge cakes, he revealed that he treats the event as a massive collaborative family reunion. Augustine reflected that involving family from the diaspora and nationwide was his key strategy to success. And that was the news in 90 seconds. Tune in again at 6:30 p.m. for our full newscast. We're heading into the celebratory segment of our mornings. We're celebrating with those of you who are celebrating with us here at Tobago Updates. First on our lineup this morning, we have Andrea Bonas. Happy birthday to you. Wishing you a vibrant day ahead, a safe day ahead, and wishing you a year full of love, prosperity, and joy. Happy birthday from us here at the Tobago Updates family. Next up, we have Rory Dillon. Happy birthday to you. Thank you so much for sending in your greetings. We wish you a great day ahead. Take some time out to reflect. Take some time out to go sip on some champagne, maybe a beer. Just enjoy yourself today and really take the time out to reflect and think about what you want to achieve in this upcoming new year. Up next, we have Moylin Williams. Such a beautiful picture being displayed here this morning. We hope your day is just as beautiful. Wishing you all the best going forward in this new year and wishing you nothing but prosperity. Next up, we're greeting belated birthday greetings to Avian Dennis. Happy belated birthday to you. I know you enjoyed to the fullest, whether you celebrated on Saturday or Sunday. The Heritage Festival is going on, so I'm sure you were out and about enjoying Tobago's culture while celebrating your day. Happy birthday, happy belated birthday to you. And last but certainly not least, extending belated birthday greetings to Kezia Frederick. Happy belated. I'm sure that the celebrations are continuing today. I hope you have a great year ahead and wishing you all God's richest blessings upon your life in this new year. And this has brought us to the end of our birthday shout-outs this morning. To those of you who did not send your greetings to us, we want to say happy birthday to you and wishing you a great and safe day ahead. But before we get further along into the program, as we dive into our conversations this morning, we head on over to our rundown. I'm going to share with you what we have in store for our viewers this morning. We have Dwayne Alonso and we're talking about new business app changes, and we're talking live demonstrations. So tune in so that you can be a part of that reveal. Next up, after that, we have freedom of speech, and we're talking to the TTPS as it relates to how we can ensure that we don't go out of the bounds of what we are allowed to say within the public domain and what can keep us from facing criminal offenses. And to wrap up this morning's segment, we have Sharon Gunn Williams, Verlin Nancis. It's the ladies of People's Pentecostal Church, and they're here to talk about the ladies' thrift garage sale. So stay tuned with us here at Tobago Updates that will bring to you all of these conversations here on the morning show. Stay right here. We want to say thank you to those of you joining us on YouTube, Facebook, AMPLIA, Flow, and Digicel. Thank you for making us your #1 station. But stay right here before we go to the break. And remember to share the live, share the live, share the life.
Coming up, Barbados kicks off festival season with Crop Over, where you can live like a local. Moments of discovery and joy during Culinary Month in Antigua and Barbuda. Find that hero within you. As these women of vision share their stories of success, Caribbean Passport TV, your guide to what's happening in the region, here on this station.
Where going? Airport.
Come back this way. Catch you roundabout and go down.
Right here.
Leave on time to be on time.
Today we are here at the new A&R Robinson International Airport, and we are doing a simulation along with the Airport Authority and the TTPS to do some observation for the traffic plan that we have implemented for the opening of the new terminal building. So starting Wednesday, July 22nd, the Division of Public Infrastructure and Transportation along with the TTPS will be at this intersection, and we will be implementing a traffic plan. Just continue around the circle. What is important in this entire traffic arrangement is that if you are coming from Crown Point, you're coming from the west and you want to go further east than the airport terminal, we advise that you either use Milford Road, go onto Silcotton Trace, and use one of the side streets between Milford Road and Tobago Local Road. All traffic between Kilgwin Bay Road and Gaskin Road will be coming west only. So that is one of the important points that we have to get into our systems as we learn to navigate around the new arrangements at the new A&R Robinson International Terminal going forward. But we want to assure you that we will help you to get used to it. We will circulate information. We will be here at the intersections along with the police while you get used to the arrangement to assist you in circulating and to getting to where you need to go safely and quickly.
As small Caribbean islands, we do need to remember that we can't do it individually. The Caribbean needs to work as a whole, from something as simple as pooled procurement of medicine or pooled procurement of equipment, to sharing training, to having centers of excellence in different islands. Working together as one, we can become giants.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Every village has a story. Every tradition has a voice. This July 16th to August 1st, discover them all at the 2026 Tobago Heritage Festival. This year's theme, Let We Tell the Whole Story, invites you to experience the customs, resilience, and rich cultural legacy that continue to define Tobago. Join us for unforgettable performances, village celebrations, and authentic cultural experiences across the island. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story. Visit TobagoFestivalsCommission.com for event details.
Okay. 335, 336, 337, 338, 339.
Counting on your fingers again. No wonder you lose your business.
Grandpa, thanks for helping me start over.
You not lucky in business, you know. As a child, you tried to sell hog plum. That failed. As a teenager, you and your boyfriend tried to break into the jewelry business. But hey, where that boy end up?
He live in Aruka in the Grove. The golden one.
Oh, child, if you want to get into business, you have to have your financial records intact. But hey, do you know your numbers?
Of course, 62433.
No, child, your numbers, your ratios, your equity ratios. You have a financial handicap.
What?
You need to see somebody about that. Anderson.
Who?
Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago, they offer tax and accounting services. They know about financial management.
Grandpa, I started this business with nothing.
And nothing is what you will end up with unless you call Anderson Services. Here.
Okay, this card is nice.
Yeah.
What's this?
Your rental fee. Have business will pay rent. Hot and groovy in the soca party.
From the reef to the road.
From the reef to the road.
From the reef to the road. Tobago calling. Sweet vibes, sweet wine, everybody falling. We bring the culture straight to you. Tobago updates, we keeping it true.
Oh gosh. Tobago updates. On the screen, here we go. You're home for October, carnival show. From the big stage shine to the rainbow line. We bring Tobago to the world in real time.
Tobago updates. Tobago updates. Carnival 2026. We set the pace.
Wave your flag.
Anywhere you're there.
Anywhere.
Island love trimming all around you.
Yeah.
Clicking lock on for the rhythm start.
Tobago updates. Caribbean art. Caribbean art.
The Caribbean is more than just a place. It's a spirit, resilient, vibrant, and full of possibility. Rooted in connection, driven by community. It's who we are and the heart of everything we do. For over 150 years, we've been right here, invested in the Caribbean, its people, and its progress. And today, we're going even further. Liberty Business, rooted in the Caribbean, committed to you.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and the service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships, it's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Nice.
If I have to call a supervisor one more time to sign off on a customer because their financials are in a mess, I will scream.
Hey, don't scream in a bank. That have lockup in it.
It's either they're not registered properly, or you know what? We could just forget about annual returns, right?
Compliance is a bad word to most of them. All your compliance out of here. But let me eat.
What is wrong with Trinbagonians? I mean, it has so much help they could get out there.
Well, you know, Trinis, we don't like to spend we money.
But you know what? Be comfortable with losing we money. That make it any financial
What people should do is call Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago.
Wait, what? Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago?
Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago Tax and Accounting Services. Yeah, they offer help from registering your business to filing your tax. My lunch is over.
Wait, tell me more.
No, go and scream in the bank. You go and scream in the bank.
No, I don't get one sooner.
And I have never, ever tried anything from the dirt oven.
Let's go to the backyard dirt oven on a Thursday. And talk about authentic. On entry, I felt at home. I felt like I was going to visit my loving grandmother on a weekend. The kind of weekend where she showers you with love, stories, and food. This place is a home away from home. And just like I would do at home, I popped the question, what you had to eat day? And boom, coconut drops. Boom, bread. Boom, garlic bread. Boom, hops. Boom, coconut tart. Boom, jam tart. And boom, something they call nuts. And just like that, Mistress Baker was ready to pop them in the oven. And don't worry, she had some help. And while we was waiting, I said, let me hear from Mistress Baker herself.
Well, we've been operating for a couple of years now. We started, this was a COVID project. We operate strictly on Tuesdays only. You don't keep stock, we only sell on Tuesdays.
Such a sweet lady. Hey, Olia, it's ready. When last you see a nice golden brown bread, sir? Backyard bakery for the win. Olia, a GT. I finally get me the oven bread with a little extra goodies on the side. You might be asking, where they're located? They are located on Bukuru, right on Nightingale Avenue, right before Racetrack Wheels if you're coming from town. Just look for the green hedge. You can't miss it. Pause. Check out the menu they one time. Honestly, guys, this is an experience I will never forget. It's a home away from home, a place filled with love, life, and most importantly, good bread.
Donc la famille taking long to play the card. Come on, I'm all in time, so good, but yo, what's good you went by?
Buying Bishops, boy.
Bishops?
Yeah, we know the baddest that's come out of Bishops, sir.
The baddest?
But telling away.
We know the baddest, boy. One night and life, and I is the baddest.
My Bishop is the best, boy.
Yo, what's going on with Tola? Yo, what's going on? It's only one way to settle this. We'll be live on Youth Voice TV where I, your host, Multibase, will be hosting the Rep Your School DJ competition where DJs will go head to head in a crazy battle to secure the title. We have cash prizes of $10,000 to come out and win and a lot of amazing prizes. Guys, what are you waiting for? Let me come out, come and showcase your skills. Come let me do some jobs.
So guys, there are two categories for DJs that are out of school up to 35 years. And for the DJs that are currently in school, it must be up to 19 years of age. So guys, get ready. It's all about Rep Your School. It's all about the DJ competition.
Who will bring the best vibes? Who can control the crowd? And who will earn the bragging rights? You get a chance to be a part and witness the rise of the new DJ generation. So this is Youth Voice, Rep Your School DJ, live on Tobago Updates. Stay tuned.
Youth Voice, Rep Your School DJ competition. Rep Your School.
From the reef to the road, Tobago calling. Sweet vibe, sweet wine, everybody falling. We bring the culture straight to you. Tobago updates, we keeping it true.
Oh gosh, Tobago updates on the screen. Here we go. You're home for October Carnival show. From the big stage shine to the rabbit hole line, we bring Tobago to the world in real time.
Tobago updates, Tobago updates. Carnival 2026. We said the pace. Wave your flag anywhere you're there. Anywhere. Island love trimming all around you. Yeah. Big king love gone for the rhythm start.
Tobago updates, Caribbean art.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back, and as promised before the break, we're speaking with Dwayne Alonzo. And Dwayne Alonzo, we're talking new business app changes as it relates to business operations here on the island of Tobago and by extension the Caribbean. Good morning and welcome to you, gentlemen.
Good morning.
So this morning we're talking about Vendor. It's an app that you guys created for the purpose of helping businesses with their business operations. For those who are hearing about this for the first time, because we've been speaking before the break, before we came back on the air, about some of the vendors that you already have using this platform. Tell us a bit about the app and its purpose.
Well, Vendor is a business operating platform, more than just being like a marketplace where you just have your business online. Is a digital storefront. So you as a business owner could operate your business totally from your phone or your laptop or whichever device you choose.
Now, these solutions usually don't just come out of thin air. It has to be because of an observed pattern or frustration within the business community. What were some of those frustrations that you observed that you try to bridge the gap with this app in particular?
Well, for me, I have a friend with a barbecue restaurant in Signal Hill, and just from being a customer there, I noticed that they need a POS system for one, and a way where to mitigate the traffic in the establishment. I realized that they needed something that people could order and make it a little bit more productive. So that was the original reason why I started on this endeavor.
Now, one thing that immediately stands out about this app is that businesses receive payments directly into their own bank accounts,
yes,
and while keeping 100% of their sales. How is that different from traditional e-commerce platforms many people are familiar with?
The platforms people are mostly familiar with right now, the platform itself takes a percentage of each sale, right? Usually between 3 and 6%. And with Vendor, we try to take that out of the equation. So what we offering is basically like a digital rental. So you rent your storehouse, and whatever you make in the month is all yours.
Now, Mr. Wayne, I'm going to direct this question to you. You describe Vendor as being built for businesses within the Caribbean. Now, what realities or specific Caribbean business habits influence the design of this platform?
Well, it speaks to service, and Tobago is a good place to see this app in its reality. When Dwayne created this app, it was just around the time that I was in Stobie, and I witnessed something that I told him. I say, hey, there are all these industries that need service like this. Here was a family now coming in to go rent a glass bottom boat, and I observed 4 young men, all in short pants, no identification, walking up to this family, and they seemed to be arguing with each other who was there first. It reached to the point where somebody pushed another person. But I'm looking at the family and I'm thinking they're not comfortable with this. You know, I want to make a point here, especially on Tobago and tourism. When we invite our friends and family to the island, we invite them because of what the island has to offer. An island pool is a major offering. You have Castara, you have Charlottesville, you have Argyle, you have all these places. But when people come here, it's more than just an invitation by us. It is the island inviting them to offer what is here. And when you come to an island, the people you interact with first speaks volume to what the island has to offer. With this app, what I observe is that this can help especially the boaters to have a more seamless approach, a professional approach. It gives them an opportunity that even though they don't have a bank account, they can have their own point of sale through the link on their phone. They can receive money by credit card, which most of them do not have because they do have a recording of their transaction to prove to a bank the type of revenue they're getting. So in addition to what you asked Dwayne, there's a multiplicity of benefit. This is not just a marketplace where you're advertising a product, but it is a holistic approach to engage customers in a professional way, time sensitive, and you having a presence online and having a record of your transactions.
Now, as you've mentioned tourism within this scope and using it as an avenue for bridging that gap with tourists internationally, regional, maybe even locally, here with interacting with our vendors and service providers, that means that this app is customizable based on the industry.
Yes. Yes.
Now, I'm going to fine-tune this app as it relates to Tobago's realities. Now, let's bring the cruise ship season into view. Can this app be used as a platform for individuals who may be into stilt making or who also provide stilt walking classes, or persons who provide art, they paint, persons who provide cultural dances as a form of recreation for tourists when they come in? Is this an app that can be used to be pitched to these cruise liners, maybe from our division of tourism here, so that tourists can book in advance, so when they get to the island of Tobago, they have something already pre-booked and pre-planned for them to enjoy, in terms of maybe even immersing themselves in experiences such as learning how to cook a pilau? Is that something that this app can potentially expand into over the next few years?
You know, Tobago is capable of doing that right now.
It's capable of doing that right now.
Yes.
So what are the next steps?
Well, I want to make a point on that also because, I travel a lot, especially around the Caribbean. And St. Lucia is a great example of that. When you come off a cruise ship, you have the drivers with a large board in front of them. They already know the places to go. They know the costs for those places. So those things are booked in advance. So you don't have any rushing. It goes in a seamless form. So yeah, this is what is going to enhance that whole approach so that these service providers will know in advance in some cases because people can book on the ship, or if they come off the ship and they can identify those places with the cost, which is a standard cost. So you're not charging $50 and the other guy charging $60 and the other guy charging $70. But I believe that it's got to be regulated from the powers that be to ensure that customers who visit this island, because this is our home and we like to be proud of our home, and when we get the bad reports, I personally take it. I don't like it. So I want to see this island rise to that occasion.
Now we have a live demonstration of the app today. If I decided to launch a small business today, could you walk us through the process? Just show us how I would have to create my business page to receiving my very first order. Now, I know you sent me some links. I'm going to head on to that right now so that we can show the viewers how this process works.
All right. Well, where's the first link you want to do? Shorty?
Yes, I selected
so let's
Shorty.
do Shorty. All right, so you as the customer would go onto the page and order the...
I'm seeing the fully loaded 10-ton music truck available for it.
Right. So you would choose the service.
Right.
Select the date.
Okay.
Select
so I'm
that time.
Today, Monday, 27th.
Right. So select that time.
At 12:30 p.m.
Right.
And I'm seeing for 1 hour here. Okay, I'm choosing 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Right.
And I'm going to enter my name. Okay, book.
Book. Right. So, as you can see, this is what Shorty would see on his end. He would see the order come in. Right. So he sees at 12:30 p.m. you want a fully loaded 10-ton music truck. And you want it for an hour and 30 minutes. So Shorty will say, okay, it's just an hour and 30 minutes. Let me charge you $500, right? So he would send you a price for $500, and you would see on your app,
accept TT 500.
Right. So you would accept the price. Right. And then if Shorty had signed up for the payment processor at this point in time, it would send you to pay via card, or you would pay via cash, bank transfer, or links. All right?
Now, when it comes to payment processes, a lot of individuals are concerned about security and the online aspect of transferring cash and ensuring that it isn't fraudulent. What are some of the systems that you have in place to ensure security?
Well, the company that gave us the opportunity to have this feature is an international company by the name of WAP. They do payment processing in 122 different countries, and
including Trinidad
and Tobago.
Central Bank.
Right? They actually license the Central Bank through different services, and their security is top notch. The security in the app on its own is top of the line, so we don't have to worry about people hacking it to get your data and your banking info and stuff like that. But when you do sign up, what you get is a wallet through WAP. It's just integrated into Venna so that a person doesn't have to go into 3 different sites to interact with their payments.
So we're going to try one more demonstration. I think we're going on to one other of the links that we have here.
All right.
Every village has a story.
And this is Village Vibes Bar.
Mhm.
So they sell soup on Saturdays. This is also shorty promotions bar. So you'll go on and make an order your soup.
Tobago,
So you can
are
order
you ready
soup for
to?
you and the family, right? Saturday morning.
So I added one to the cart, and I'm seeing that the cart is currently highlighted with one item inside.
Right.
Right. So I'm going to the cart and go to checkout.
All right.
I am seeing closed right now.
Well, I just open it. So refresh the
again?
page here. If you refresh the page, it will be open.
Okay. Great. So I made my order.
Alright, so you made your order. So in Village Vibes Bar, they would see the order just came in. You ordered 2 cow heels for $100. So you should be seeing on your screen that the order is received, right?
Yes.
So now the person in the kitchen at Village Vibes Bar will let you know that the order is cooking or being prepared, right? So they'll probably take a couple minutes and prepare your order, and then they'll let you know that it's ready for pickup based on if you decided for pickup or delivery, right? So you would see that it's ready for pickup, and then by that time, you know, you would have paid or whatever, and the market picked up, done, and you could download your receipt now.
Yeah, I'm seeing that here.
Right.
Okay, awesome. I think this is something that a lot of individuals would be very appreciative of having within their business operating systems, because it really adds to that convenience, not just for themselves, but also for the customers who would be a part of the entire process as well.
And a business owner could operate the business basically on a day you're having a bad day. You can be in the office, you could be at home, and still manage your business holistically.
Now, one feature I found particularly interesting is the built-in loyalty program. How important, we know how important that business retention is in terms of ensuring that customers continue to return to an establishment for profits and such. How does this feature help businesses encourage repeat customers within the space?
Well, you know, people love free stuff, right? So the mindset behind putting in the loyalty program is to retain customers, you know. If you have customers and you say, okay, every 5 purchases you make from us, we give you a $30 item. People don't really care about the $30 item. It's just the fact that they gain some reciprocation from somewhere that they used to spending money. So just that mentality alone will make customers come to, you know, support your store over and over again.
Now, artificial intelligence and automation are changing how businesses operate around the world. Are there any plans to integrate AI or other smart technologies into Vendor to make business management even easier?
Yes. You know, for future plans, we want to make it to where when a tourist comes to Tobago, they could go onto Vendor and just ask, where could I get some food at 11:30 in the night? And you would have a tanty or something like that, say, you know, call a restaurant fare or, you know, stuff like that. That is the plans for the future. But yes, we are planning to have a AI integration into the making businesses more visible to tourists and people coming to the island.
There is a feature right now where, for example, somebody selling doubles, where you can speak your order into the system, and that records your order so that the interaction is live. So there is that feature that is built in, but again, we have to develop the number of clientele so that the services can be widely available.
Okay, gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for coming on this morning and sharing about your app development and the plans you hope for businesses here on Tobago, and not just Tobago, but Trinidad and the wider Caribbean, how they can utilize these apps for convenience and also for smoother processes as it relates to the rollout of their businesses. We want to thank you so much for coming on, and we wish you all the success. But I just want you to share with our viewers before we go how they can contact you and get onto you if they also want to be a part of Vendor.
All right. If you want to be on Vendor, you could visit us online at vendah.net, vendor.net, or you can contact us via WhatsApp at 755-8914.
So viewers, there you have it. Stay right here. After the break, we continue with our programming. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Tobago, are you ready to celebrate culture, color, and creativity? Then make Heritage Haven books and things your first stop this Heritage Festival. Step into a world of vibrant African wear, handcrafted accessories, unique gifts, local authors, and inspiring books for every age. Whether you're dressing for the festivities or searching for something special, Heritage Haven has something just for you. Heritage Haven books and things where culture comes alive. Visit us today at the Scarborough Esplanade and discover treasures. Celebrate culture where read it, live it.
Wait. We are going airport.
Come back this way. Catch you roundabout and go down.
Right here.
Leave on time to be on time.
Today we are here at the new A&R Robinson International Airport, and we are doing a simulation along with the Airport Authority and the TTPS to do some observation for the traffic plan that we have implemented for the opening of the new terminal building. So starting Wednesday, July 22nd, the Division of Public Infrastructure and Transportation along with the TTPS will be at this intersection, and we will be implementing a traffic plan. Just continue around the circle. What is important in this entire traffic arrangement is that if you are coming from Crown Point, you're coming from the west and you want to go further east than the airport terminal, we advise that you either use Milford Road, go onto Silcotton Trace, and use one of the side streets between Milford Road and Tobago Local Road. All traffic between Kilgwin Bay Road and Gaskin Road will be coming west only. So that is one of the important points that we have to get into our systems as we learn to navigate around the new arrangements at the new A&R Robinson International Terminal going forward. But we want to assure you that we will help you to get used to it. We will circulate information. We will be here at the intersections along with the police while you get used to the arrangements to assist you in circulating and to getting to where you need to go safely and quickly.
Every village has a story. Every tradition has a voice. This July 16th to August 1st, discover them all at the 2026 Tobago Heritage Festival. This year's theme, Let We Tell the Whole Story, invites you to experience the customs, resilience, and rich cultural legacy that continue to define Tobago. Join us for unforgettable performances, village celebrations, and authentic cultural experiences across the island. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story. Visit TobagoFestivalsCommission.com for event details.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to Tobago Updates Morning Show. We're shifting our conversations and we're talking about freedom of speech. Here in studio with us from the TTPS is Sergeant Wendy Clark. Good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. Good morning to the viewers.
Now, Sergeant Clark, freedom of expression is protected under our Constitution, but many people mistakenly believe that that means they can say absolutely anything.
Yes.
From a policing and legal perspective, where does freedom of speech and unlawful speech freedom of speech end and unlawful speech begin?
Okay. As you rightfully said, freedom of speech is a right under the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago. However, it's not absolute, right? We have the right to express our views, our political views. We have our right to protest peacefully. We have our right to express ourselves in different ways. However, there is a limit. Once it doesn't breach the laws of Trinidad and Tobago, for example, we have Section 49 of the Summary Offences Act, which speaks about obscene language and and as among other things, right? And because of that, there's the border, so we have to be careful as to what we say and how we say it, not incite persons to to do unlawful acts or threaten persons in any manner.
Now, what are some of the most common situations where individuals unknowingly cross the line and expose themselves to criminal or civil liability simply through the words they use, whether in person or online?
Okay. Persons may say things in a threatening manner, right? Persons may, again, use language that may incite persons to do unlawful or violent acts, and there's a thin line between saying or disagreeing or criticizing a public official or criticizing someone. However, when that in disagreement comes across as inciting persons to come on board with you to commit violent acts against a person or an individual, then that is where we draw the line.
I think in recent years and in recent time as well, we've seen on social media individuals who would have made statements against public officials, as more namely the Prime Minister.
Yes.
We've seen the crackdown on that, or even the imprisonment of these individuals, and there would be individuals who find that maybe this was a bit too harsh. Can you give a bit more of why these penalties are there and necessary and in place when it comes to these acts?
Okay, freedom of speech again is under the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago. You have the right to criticize. You can criticize a public official. Your speech is your political speech, and these things are enshrined in the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago. However, when these speeches, incite again, or cause persons to do or to carry out unlawful acts, or things within that ambit, there is where the line has to be drawn with respect to your speech and so on, with respect to public officials and other individuals within the country.
Now, there are individuals who believe that because they're behind a keyboard or posting in a private WhatsApp group chat, that they are protected. Does the law treat online speech differently, or can the social media post carry the same legal consequences? Because we've already spoken about persons posting and inciting other individuals as it relates to public officials. Tell us about how does the law translate, especially to social media as opposed to in person, because we've spoken about obscene language, and obscene language can occur within the public space and also on social media as well.
Right. Social media, it basically is governed by the same laws as other means of free expression, like public speaking, one-on-one speaking and so on. Persons behind the keyboard expressing their views are subjected to the same laws as persons outside, otherwise. So freedom of speech doesn't give, because you're behind a keyboard, doesn't give you the right to say things, or type things, or communicate information that may cause persons, or to go over that threshold that will, may be deemed, unlawful or where the case may be.
At what point does legitimate criticism become defamation or another issue entirely? Because while, as you've said before, we have the right to criticize or maybe express our displeasure at the way things are unfolding within our communities, within our spaces, there is a point where it is from criticism to defamation. How can individuals differentiate between the two?
Defamation is an area where what you say, it has to be factual. It is something that you should be able to prove. Just saying something at the top of your head, just to tarnish the public image of an individual or an institution without any means of proving these words or what was said, that can amount to defamation, right? It is a thin line, yes, but you have to be, more. What should I say? More
cognizant.
More. Yes, of what is happening, and you cannot just go around and speak untruth about persons without getting the facts, and that is where the defamation comes in.
We have an issue that frequently arises within the space and on social media where individuals name other persons as criminals before any charges are laid or before a court has ruled.
Yes.
What legal risk can come from doing that, and why is it so important to allow investigations to run their course?
It depends on the circumstances, right? Just saying that Jane Doe was arrested for say a break-in or any other offense doesn't really, that is covered under freedom of speech. But when you go and say that this person, Jane Doe, has committed an offense, and there's a difference, right? And we now, as law enforcement officers, as persons are, always say persons are innocent until proven guilty. And when persons put that type of information in the public domain, it prejudices the outcome or the thought of other persons without giving that individual who is brought before the court a fair hearing.
Now, another area, as we also dive into that aspect of court rulings and court matters, many people may not understand is commenting on active court matters. Can you explain what contempt of court or the sub judice rule, and why public commentary during ongoing proceedings can sometimes become a legal issue? Because we have been seeing within the space as well over recent times that there have been recordings being released within the public domain. There were court matters that were recorded and released within the public domain. So give us a bit of why. I don't think some persons really understand the severity of some of these issues. Please highlight to the viewers this morning looking on why this is such an issue.
Okay. In recent past, just before the COVID, court matters were publicly heard, right? And because of the COVID, where we had to have a distance, between individuals and no congregation, the online platform came in where we have our court matters online. Individuals now who you may think comment on ongoing court matters. Yes, you can comment. Again, that is part of free speech. But coming to a conclusion without getting the necessary facts, that may cause a problem. Court recordings, other recordings that may be established in the public domain, it prejudices the thinking and the individuals out there. Sometimes it prevents the police or the prosecution from entering these recordings and so on into evidence, you know, because it has already been in the public domain, you know. So you don't have that, when you go into the court now with this evidence, it has already been seen all over and persons have already formed their opinion. When you present this before the court, it takes away from the information that will be able to convict or not, the person to determine their innocence or guilt.
Now, as we wrap up the interview this morning, I just want you to give our viewers one tip before they share something online or before they say something openly in person as well. One thing that they need to filter through in their mind before they make this statement.
Okay. It may not be one thing. However, freedom of speech is a right under the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago. Also, freedom of expression. However, when it crosses that threshold where you tend to incite or threaten persons or, use language that is against the laws of Trinidad and Tobago under certain circumstances, there is where you have to be mindful about what you say and how you say it, and in the domain in which this information is out there. We put this information out there to members of the public.
Sergeant Clark, we want to thank you so much for coming and sharing with us. We hope that in the near future we can continue this conversation and go a bit deeper into some of these issues that we continuously face here on the island of Tobago and by extension Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Okay, thank you. And thank you to the viewers as well.
Viewers, stay right here. We continue after the break. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Every village has a story. Every tradition has a voice. This July 16th to August 1st, discover them all at the 2026 Tobago Heritage Festival. This year's theme, Let We Tell the Whole Story, invites you to experience the customs, resilience, and rich cultural legacy that continue to define Tobago. Join us for unforgettable performances, village celebrations, and authentic cultural experiences across the island. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story. Visit TobagoFestivalsCommission.com for event details.
As small Caribbean islands, we do need to remember that we can't do it individually. The Caribbean needs to work as a whole, from something as simple as pool procurement of medicine or pool procurement of equipment, to sharing training, to having centers of excellence in different islands. Working together as one, we can become giants.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Tobago, are you ready to celebrate culture, color, and creativity? Then make Heritage Haven books and things your first stop this Heritage Festival. Step into a world of vibrant African wear, handcrafted accessories, unique gifts, local authors, and inspiring books for every age. Whether you're dressing for the festivities or searching for something special, Heritage Haven has something just for you. Heritage Haven books and things where culture comes alive. Visit us today at the Scarborough Esplanade and discover treasures. Celebrate culture where read it, live it.
Okay. 325, 326, 327, 328, 329.
Counting on your fingers again. No wonder you lose your business.
Grandpa, thanks for helping me start over.
You not lucky in business, As a child, you tried to sell hog plum. That failed. As a teenager, you and your boyfriend tried to break into the jewelry business. But where that boy end up?
He live in Aruka in the Grove. The golden one.
Oh, child, if you want to get into business, you have to have your financial records intact. But do you know your numbers?
Of course, 624.
3-3.
No, child, your numbers, your ratios, your equity ratios. You have a financial handicap.
What?
You need to see somebody about that. Anderson.
Who?
Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago, they offer tax and accounting services. They know about financial management.
Grandpa, I started this business with nothing.
And nothing is what you will end up with unless you call Anderson Services. Here.
Okay, this card is nice.
Yeah.
What's this?
Your rental fee. Have business will pay rent. Hot and groovy in the soca party.
Coming up, Barbados kicks off festival season with Crop Over, where you can live like a local. Moments of discovery and joy during Culinary Month in Antigua and Barbuda. Find that hero within you. As these women of vision share their stories of success, Caribbean Passport TV, your guide to what's happening in the region, here on this station.
The Caribbean is more than just a place. It's a spirit, resilient, vibrant, and full of possibility. Rooted in connection, driven by community. It's who we are and the heart of everything we do. For over 150 years, we've been right here, invested in the Caribbean, its people, and its progress. And today, we're going even further. Liberty Business, rooted in the Caribbean, committed to you.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Viewers, welcome back. We're here in studio with the ladies of People's Pentecostal Church. We're here with Sharon Gunn Williams and Verlin Nances, and we're talking about the Thrift Garage. Say good morning and welcome to you, ladies.
Good morning.
It's a pleasure to have you in studio with us.
Thank you very much.
Now, thrift shopping has become increasingly popular, not just because it's affordable, but also because it is environmentally friendly. You guys hosted your first one on July 4th, and now you're back with a second edition.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about how that was conceptualized and why you decided to have another one so soon after.
Okay, so good morning again. We had our first one on the 4th, as you mentioned. As ladies of the People's Church, we were looking at ways in which we could contribute to the church, and therefore the idea came up that we should have a thrift sale. Now the response was so overwhelming that we said, no, this, we can't keep it to ourselves. We must share it with all of Tobago. So hence we are now having a second edition on Friday coming.
Now, this is more than just a shopping event. It's also a fundraiser. What projects or ministries will benefit from the proceeds, and what impact are you hoping it would make within the community?
One, what we do, we have initiatives in the church that we take part in. What we also do as ladies in the church, we assist fellow members and even villagers, you know, people who are in need. We would pay them visits, take hampers and those kind of things, and it costs money. right? So all what we are doing here is to assist in all those little ventures that we will come up with from time to time.
Now, walk us through what shoppers can expect on the day. What are some of the items that they can look forward to seeing there and purchasing as well? Here with us, I know you have some items that you would like to display. So now would be the perfect time for you to display to our viewers what you have in store.
Yes, so Sharon will take that.
Good evening, good morning, viewers. We have in our thrift store this weekend, we have these wallets. Going at $5. It is not fancy, but it's keeping your money safe. So we have these bags on sale, $10. It's going at $10, very cheap and affordable. We have these dresses on sale, nice cocktail dresses, $50, not more than $50. Beautiful dresses. Come and get yours. We have this one too, on sale too, $50. Beautiful dresses. Wherever you're planning a wedding ceremony, an anniversary, a birthday, check us out first. On Friday, the 31st of July, at the Esplanade, Scarborough Esplanade. And this beautiful shoe is only going at $20. $20. Beautiful. Come and get yours.
So viewers, there you have it. The ladies of the People's Pentecostal Church will be hosting the thrift garage sale this Saturday.
This Friday.
This Friday at the Scarborough Esplanade. So you can come out and be a part of that experience. Any parting words before we wrap up the interview this morning?
We start at 9:30 and we would want all of Tobago. Once you are on the island on Friday, we would want you to come down to the Esplanade. We will be at the top portion of the Esplanade. You're visible from the road. You'll see the tents. You'll see people. You'll see lots of people. Because what we have, we know we will have lots of people there, and we are inviting you to come and patronize us. Come on, because you may even need to change your wardrobe, right? And you can do it at an affordable cost. So we're expecting you to come out and be part of what we are offering.
We are catering for babes in arm up to 12 years old. The senior citizen, plus size, men and women. So come out in your numbers and buy from us first before you go anywhere else. We are affordable, our prices are affordable, and negotiable. So you should come out and visit us at our garage sale on Friday.
Thank you so much, ladies, and we wish you all the best in the thrift garage sale this Friday. We hope you get the turnout that you're looking for. Viewers,
thanks for having us.
You're
Thank you for
very
having
welcome.
us.
So viewers, stay right here. Tobago Updates. The programming is not finished. Up next, we have GMT. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Seventeen-year-old sixth form student Shania Phillip of Signal Hill Secondary School was declared Tobago's 2026 Junior Secretary of Tourism following an outstanding performance during this year's Tobago Tourism Youth Congress.
To sustainably transform our human capital, we must deploy blockchain micro-credentialing, immersive virtual reality learning hubs, and AI-powered intelligence platforms.
Shania tapped representatives from the other participating secondary schools who also vied for the opportunity to represent the island at the Caribbean Tourism Organization's Regional Tourism Youth Congress. Jola Clinton of Bishop's High School, Tobago secured second place, while Alikia Patterson of Speyside Secondary School placed third.
To move our industry from barely surviving to becoming a global leader, I, as a junior tourism secretary, propose 3 clear strategies.
I propose 3 key initiatives to help transform Tobago into a living museum
youth engagement, community art, and digital storytelling. First, schools across Tobago can nearby heritage sites. This will allow students to actively participate in preserving local history while developing a deeper connection to their communities.
The Tobago Tourism Youth Congress is a flagship initiative of the Division of Tourism, Antiquities and Creative Industries.
Today is certainly much more than a competition. It's about leadership, critical thinking, confidence, and innovation. It's about giving young people a platform to express their perspectives on tourism and demonstrate their potential as future leaders of Tobago.
Today, we witness young people engaging in important questions about tourism, sustainability, innovation, and the future of our destination. And as we await the announcement of this morning's results, I want every participant to understand something very important. Your greatest achievement today is not simply the prize you would win in a few moments. Your greatest achievement is that you have accepted the responsibility to represent your school, to share your ideas, and to contribute to a conversation that matters.
In an emotional farewell as the former Tobago Junior Tourism Secretary, Jolie St. John shared some words of encouragement for the would-be newly elected Junior Tourism Secretary 2026.
To the incoming Junior Secretary of Tourism, cherish this opportunity. The title itself is important, but the experiences, relationships, and the lessons that come with it are even more valuable. Do not be afraid to respectfully challenge boundaries and ask difficult questions. Some of the opportunities will come to you, but others you must create yourself. The impact you will make will not solely be measured by the events you attend, the photo op moments, and the titles you earn, but by the lives you touch, the footprints you leave behind.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawn.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Update. Your host, Chanel Felix. And guys, you know, whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask those questions that you want asked. But before we get into this morning's interesting topics and conversations, let's have our news in 90 seconds. Zari Kerr has claimed the crown as the Tobago 2026 Heritage Calypso Monarch. At the grand finals held on Saturday, July 25th at Plymouth Hard Court, Kerr outperformed 9 other finalists in both the original composition Wrong and the Old Brigade tribute to Lord Nelson. Meanwhile, Chauvel Williams took home the People's Choice Award after receiving overwhelming fan support. Additionally, candidates who successfully cleared document verification have moved on to Phase 2 of the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard's recruitment drive. Applicants undertook the official entrance examination designed to test knowledge, aptitude, and potential for maritime services as the selection process continues. Additionally, the replacement ferry MV Golden Carrier berthed at the Port of Spain on Saturday, July 25th, in preparation for joining the Inter-Island Cargo Sea Bridge. On Sunday, technical teams from Port of Spain, NIDCO, and TTIT conducted onboarding inspections as part of the vessel's readiness program ahead of loaded sea trials between Trinidad and Tobago. Finally, Chief Secretary Farley Augustine reflected on what he believes contributes to success of a good harvest. While checking on his sponge cake, he revealed that he treats the event as a massive collaborative family reunion. Augustine reflected that involving family from the diaspora and nationwide has been a key strategy in its success. And that was our news in 90 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, this morning we jump straight ahead and we are talking all about how you can get your young persons, your youths, your kids prepared for the future. This morning I have the privilege of sitting and chatting in studio this morning with the Investment Center Manager for Tobago for the Unit Trust Corporation, Mr. Dexter Sandy. Good morning and welcome. Now this morning we're talking about investing on behalf of children, and we know we usually have this conversation every year as the new school term turns over, the new school year, and it's usually that conversation to parents and guardians about what it really means to have kids prepared for the future. Good morning again and welcome.
Good morning, Chanel. Good morning to all your viewers.
Right. So tell us a bit about what UTC is doing with the Children Investment Starter Plan to ensure that parents prepare their kids for the future.
Yeah, and so, you know, in Tobago, we use a couple terms that's in a regular conversation. Tobago is we, are we own. Right. You know, and that is really Tobagonians taking ownership of the island, taking ownership of the growth and development of the island. And at the Unit Trust Corporation now, we have been and we continue to be on board with you as a parent, as a well-wisher, in developing the child and taking ownership of the child's development. You know, we really, our role and function is really to empower families, you know, through making those decisions right now that will impact the child to benefit them as they become an adult. And so that's one of the main things that we focus on, empowering the families, planting the seeds of success, as a term that we use very often in the office, planting seeds of success to really help create the behaviors in terms of saving and investing for the future.
Right. And tell us a bit about how this particular account can really help train parents and children for investing, because there's a difference between you know, that investment that you're looking for that return on and just that savings account. So tell us a bit about what this entails.
All right, so literally the CISP, the Children Investment Starter Plan, it gives you a head start it gives you the ability over a period of time to set things right financially for a child. You are able to set up the account from as early as birth of the child. Once that child has been registered, you know, you have the name, you have the registered date of birth, you are able to now set up that fund where you can, over a period of time, contribute at your pace, right? So it really gives you affordability to make things happen financially for that child. So when they become of age, they are able to make key decisions and be able to have that head start.
Understood. And so this is an investment account and not a savings account.
Correct.
Okay. Usually, from your perspective, what is the payout like, the percentage?
So it's not something that we would quote on.
Okay.
Right? This plan is really giving you a pathway to set designated amounts. For example, when you establish your account, you can decide as a parent, I'm going to put $200 per month. I'm going to put $1,000 per month over the period of time until the child comes of age 18, right? It also allows for you to now share that account information with, let's say, a godmother, godfather, a cousin or auntie, to also make tangible contributions over time, all benefiting from compounded growth over that period of time. Dividends are going to be reinvested into the account, and as such, at the time of age 18, you're able now to look back at the past performance of the account and realize, wow, on average, the growth may have been 7%, it may have been 6%, but only throughout the period of you establishing the account and looking back at the past performance of the fund, then is when you'll be able to establish what the average performance, as you indicated, what the rate of interest would have been.
All right. What is required for parents to set up this account?
Definitely, it's very simple. It's one form of ID. Your proof of address. Your proof of address, we would definitely use your bank statement. It can be a utility bill in your name. Most persons come with their bank statement, and we accept that as well. And then it's you coming with a proof of employment. So simple as a payslip. It's not necessary that you have to go get a job letter. We will take a payslip one within the last 3 months, and we'll set that up for you as the adult. Now, the fund is Children Investment Starter Plan. So no, the child can't open the account. A minor can't open an account. So the adult will open the account and be able to assign the name of the child onto that account. So we know at age 18, that same adult and child will return to the institution, to unit trust, and be able to process the paperwork. And we will just encourage the young adult at that age to now continue the investments, continue the behaviors of opening the account and making your own deposits, as it were, as you're now getting probably into the world of work. You know, even if you're not getting into the world of work, you may be going off to tertiary education and you want to access these funds. And, you know, that's a decision you will make there and then, and you will have access to the funds, and the parent can say, you know what, as I'm turning these funds over to this young adult and they're setting up their own account, as a parent wanting to be supportive, they can also continue to make contributions to the account. So as you go through the semesters, you know, you have certain payments you have to make to the institution. At least you would have this resource to tap into to meet those commitments.
Understood. And for those wondering, does the performance of UTC reflect the performance of these investment accounts based on the dividend being paid out on a yearly basis that's reinvested back into the account?
Definitely. And if it's one thing, you can look back at the history of the Unit Trust Corporation. We're here for over 40 years, established since 1982. And our mandate is really to help grow the wealth of the nation, and that has always been our mantra. Our primary focus is really to pay out that dividend to you, that return to you, the investor, and make sure that at the end of every period that you do get your statement, you can smile and say, yes, I really made a wise decision by investing in the Unit Trust Corporation.
Right. And so even for the adults looking on who want to do something for their kids or want to do something for themselves as well, tell us a bit about how they can go about doing that, what is required for them, and what are some of the investment funds that they can look at.
Well, I would definitely say now is the opportunity to visit one of our investment centers. We have 9 across Trinidad and Tobago, as well as we do have agents. So for Tobago specific, our office is located uptown Scarborough, and then we do have an agency in the Canaan area.
Right.
And so you can come in, you can interact with us over the counter, or if not, if you don't have the time to physically come in, you can visit our website at ttutc.com. Again, www.ttutc.com, and you'll be able to get all the information at your fingertips, be able to sit, read, kind of engross yourself and get the knowledge. And even from there, you can open an account via our onboard platform once you so desire.
Understood. And a number of persons are at that place where they are looking to diversify their income, but also have those multiple investment streams, and they're looking at different opportunities to do so. Tell us a bit about the opportunities presented by UTC and why that is important for anybody to want to take advantage of at this time.
Yeah, well, you see, over time, persons, we had the behaviors, or we do have the behaviors, we need to put aside money. Traditionally, we would have put it across in a savings account in the bank. But in today's society, we see where the returns on a savings account in any bank is way less than 1%. And so, you know, it's really, it makes sense naturally to invest. Invest is really making your money work for you. And at the Unit Trust Corporation, we will manage your funds, and that's what we do on a daily basis as fund managers, and really work your funds for you to give you that return. And I mean, for today, we can boast of the TT Income Fund that pays in 3.6% per annum. Our US Income Fund, which right now it's paying 3.8%. So we are really doing the work, making sure that your money works for you and you see the benefits rather than just have it parked in a savings account, earning less than 1%.
Right. And again, remind parents about this children investment starter plan. Tell them about it again.
Yeah, the children investment starter plan is really the opportunity for you to grab at right now. I mean, even though you may say, but you know, the child in my care is probably 10 years old, 11 years old. You could look at a milestone. It could have been someone who just came out of SCA, who just got their results, and you want to establish their account. It's never too late.
Right.
It might be a child moving from preschool into primary school. Now is the time to establish that CISP fund. Come into the branch. One form of ID, your proof of address, and your proof of employment, and $100. And you know what we will do for you? We will also make that first investment with you. As the Unit Trust Corporation, we will invest $100 into that account. So literally, the child is able to start off with at least a minimum of $200. But also, don't think that you have to limit yourself to that $100. You can start the account with any amount, $500, $1,000, $5,000, any amount. But we will establish it with you with $100, and we will ensure that over the period of time, you get the meaningful returns. So at age 18, you know, that financial burden isn't there. Age 19, when that child is making the decision, am I opening my own business? Am I going off to school? Do I want to get involved in some sort of project, right? And where do I get the capital from? You would have already put aside a nest egg in the CISP, and it really gives you that financial freedom to make choices.
Excellent. Well, we want to thank you so much for being here this morning and just giving us a great insight into how parents can truly begin planning for their children's future and their own futures as well, because it's really never too late to make the investment in one's future financially, and you know, utilizing all avenues to do so, and even learning more about investing. And as you said, persons can go to the branch in Scarborough,
or the website, as I said, ttutc.com, and all the information is available there for you.
Excellent. Well, again, Dexter, I want to thank you for being here with us this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back after this. See you soon.
As small Caribbean islands, we do need to remember that we can't do it individually. The Caribbean needs to work as a whole. From something as simple as pooled procurement of medicine or pool procurement of equipment, to sharing training, to having centers of excellence in different islands. Working together as one, we can become giants.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Every village has a story. Every tradition has a voice. This July 16th to August 1st, discover them all at the 2026 Tobago Heritage Festival. This year's theme, Let We Tell the Whole Story, invites you to experience the customs, resilience, and rich cultural legacy that continue to define Tobago. Join us for unforgettable performances, village celebrations, and authentic cultural experiences across the island. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story. Visit TobagoFestivalsCommission.com for event details.
And I have never, ever tried anything from the dirt oven. Let's go to the backyard dirt oven on a Thursday. Here now, talk about authentic. On entry, I felt at home. I felt like I was going to visit my loving grandmother on a weekend. The kind of weekend where she showers you with love, stories, and food. This place is a home away from home. And just like I would do at home, I pop the question, what you had to eat day? And boom, coconut drops. Boom, bread. Boom, garlic bread, boom, hops, boom, coconut tart, boom, jam tart, and boom, something they call nuts. And just like that, Mistress Baker was ready to pop them in the oven. And don't worry, she had some help. And while we was waiting, I said, let we hear from Mistress Baker herself.
Well, we've been operating for a couple of years now. We started, this was a COVID project. We operate strictly on Tuesdays only. You don't keep stock, we only sell on Tuesdays.
Such a sweet lady. Hey, Olia, it's ready. When last you see a nice golden brown bread, sir? Backyard bakery for the win. Olia, a GT. I finally get me the oven bread with a little extra goodies on the side. You might be asking, where they're located? They are located on Bukuru, right on Nightingale Avenue, right before Racetrack Wheels if you're coming from town. Just look for the green hedge. You can't miss it. Pause. Check out the menu day one time. Honestly, guys, this is an experience I will never forget. It's a home away from home, a place filled with love, life, and most importantly, good bread.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sticking with us. This morning we jump straight ahead into our conversation and we are chatting to a guy that is no stranger to us here on Tobago Updates. We're talking to former Commissioner of Police, Mr. Gary Griffith, on concerns over the leaked audio recording. Good morning and welcome.
Hi, good morning again. Always a pleasure.
Right. I mean, for weeks we've been discussing this situation with the arrest of the Hadids. But in one of the latest developments, we've seen that one of the audio from an intercepted communication has been made public. We welcome you this morning to get some of your comments on this.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I consider this one of the biggest security breaches in the history of Trinidad and Tobago's national security apparatus. This has never happened before. It is an embarrassment to the state. It shows something has totally collapsed. That degree of confidentiality, it is critical. By this happening, it will now put fear, and rightfully so, in every single citizen of this country, law-abiding or not, because it basically means that the state is now in a position where they intend to just intercept phones of anyone, your computers, your telephone messages, text, WhatsApp, whatever, and you now are worried that every single conversation that you are making now can very well be listened to by authorities who might use that to incarcerate you, because you have your right to privacy, and the decision is being made without a trigger. You need a trigger. Without the trigger, there's no justification to intercept anyone.
Right.
I could kind of say that as being a security minister and a commissioner, I'm more qualified than anyone to understand how this thing works. And the process is flawed. It means that persons' phones are being intercepted based on a fishing expedition, based on a witch hunt, not based on some degree of evidence to verify there is a reason for us to invade on your privacy. And after that is done, now we are seeing the situation where when it is you don't get evidence, you're still incarcerating persons for months. So we have men who have been charged based on evidence for murder, rape, kidnapping, and getting bail. Now we have a 70-year-old woman who did not commit a crime, who had a private conversation, and the justification by this man who calls himself a minister, who's referred to as a minister, is stating, well, because they have the resources to do something, it means that we should. The 70-year-old man sells cheese. But this is where we have reached. And then what makes it worse? Now, the evidence, the data that you have through that recording has now been leaked to the public. That shows that is a total collapse. In any developed country, the line minister and the director of the SSA would have tendered their resignation. And if not, the prime minister should have demanded that they be fired with immediate effect.
Right. And one of the questions being asked from the general public at this time is, what would have caused that interception of communication on the Hadids to the point where it is now a violation of their privacy that those conversations are in the public domain without their consent? But we're asking, there was a public detention order issued against them for them to be arrested based on evidence found in the recording. But we're asking, what caused the recording in the first place? What caused that actual interception that led to them finding the evidence that then got this family arrested?
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. There's no evidence. You need a trigger. I actually took the FIU, the Financial Intelligence Unit, to court for the same thing, and I won my court matter because they wanted to dig up into my accounts. Remember, the last government was on a witch hunt because I refused to arrest political opponents to help them. And the FIU rushed into my accounts, and I won the case because you cannot dig into accounts. If you wanted my accounts, I would have given it to you. I have nothing to hide, but don't go into my privacy unless there's a trigger. There must be a trigger. Without a trigger, it gives the FIU full authority just to dig into anyone's account if they feel. It's the same thing with the SSA. There must be a trigger. You cannot have any justification to invade persons' privacy unless you know that there's something that will warrant triggering it. And I am challenging the minister, show us what was the trigger. There was no trigger. This was a fishing expedition. And to confirm what I'm stating, after you do the recording, all that you could come up with is a 70-year-old lady who sells cheese ranting and venting her concern about the state of the country, and the wife of the owner of a company is listening attentively, not saying much if anything, and that is what you use to arrest the man who owns the company. And then you have a government minister pushing an agenda to boycott Blue Waters because the husband who owns Blue Waters, his wife was listening to a conversation that a 70-year-old woman was saying, and that is his justification. And if that is the case, then there's a saying you can't be half pregnant, because this same government minister has referred to Afro-Trinidadians as monkeys. This same government minister, Philip Alexander, has stated that he referred to a media person as a half-pint Negro. If that is the case, then shouldn't it be that everyone now should boycott the government and not support or vote for the government? So this has become so ridiculous, so out of control. It is mind-boggling. Every citizen in this country must very well be very concerned that your fundamental rights of freedom and privacy can be infringed. And for the UNC till are dead, blind puppets who will not see the problem here. Imagine in 2030, Fitzgerald Hines, for example, becomes the director of the SSA, and he decides to do the same thing. And you have a government now that will decide to arrest people based not on evidence, not on charges, but on the fact that maybe they might have the resources to do it, so let us lock them up to be careful. That is madness. It's only in a dictatorial country that takes place. It is only in a police state that takes place. And each and every law-abiding citizen, everybody with a good conscience, regardless of your political affiliation, must totally condemn the action that has taken place recently.
Right. And a lot of persons who were previously quite silent on the political state of Trinidad and Tobago have now come out to really express their dissatisfaction. But then with that dictatorial view that many persons are having, persons are still saying, be careful, because you never know, you could get locked up just for coming on social media and venting your frustrations, even putting a comment out there. And this is a situation where we had never imagined we would have been in as a country. And you hear persons relating what is happening in Trinidad and Tobago to what's happening in the United States, and saying that possibly our government is drawing on some of those US policies for how they deal with intelligence or just the public on a whole. From your perspective, do you think that this can truly have a negative impact on this government's public approval rating?
Oh, definitely. You can't get lower than this. But let me clarify. Let's not throw the United States into this madness. The United States has no such system that if they believe somebody might be against the government, we're going to lock you up. The United States has no such system where it is that they will say, well, we don't have any charge, but we're still going to incarcerate you. The United States has no such system where we could find something, and because we realize they didn't commit a crime, let's leak the information, send it out to the public to embarrass you, based on a recording. The United States has no such system where they will just say, let's just go and dig up into the files of people and go on a fishing expedition and hope that we can find something. So the United States has as much as we are very anti-United States, do not ever compare the United States with their system for national security to the madness that is taking place now, where a politician, nowhere in the United States has a politician have the authority to arrest someone indefinitely without evidence and without charge. The United States has nothing like that because they are a democratic society. We are now turned into a virtual police state.
A number of persons are calling into question the competence of the Minister for Homeland Security at this time, based on a number of the comments and how this case has proceeded. From your perspective, we know that you have made multiple calls for resignation, but do you think now more than ever the Prime Minister needs to consider reshuffling her cabinet?
Yeah, definitely. The most fundamental rights of citizens is that of safety and security. She has selected someone based on advice given to her by another senior UNC official who actually recommended Philip Alexander. So it's one person who recommended both Alexanders, and they imposed the Alexanders on the country. Both of them have become the biggest assets to the opposition. Every time they speak, the government loses thousands of votes. In this situation with Roger Alexander, there are 20,000 persons who are employed in the Ministry of Homeland Security, both in uniform and in civilian clothes in the private sector, in the public sector. And that includes the members of the Defense Force, police, prisons, fire, you name it, and all the admin staff and public servants. 19,999 need minimum qualification. The only person who needs no qualification whatsoever is the minister. That alone shows the banana republic concept we have. Roger Alexander does not have the capability to apply to even be an ACP or a senior suit or a DCP or a commissioner of police, but you make him a minister. So it's like somebody who's a clerk 2, and you're applying to be a clerk 1, and you're applying to be a clerk 2, and you can't come in the top 50, but they make you the general manager of the company the next day. You appoint somebody because he used to be funny and make nice jokes in a talk show with someone. You appoint someone who never led more than 10 men, and now you put him in charge of 20,000. You appoint someone who was never responsible for $100, and now you give him $6 billion. What do you expect? We are blaming Roger Alexander. He didn't impose himself on us. He was selected, and he has failed miserably. The man started this here by blatantly misleading the country with lies to say that people believe that he has the sole authority on this matter. He doesn't. It has to go to lawyers, and the lawyers have to sift through it and analyze the intelligence. He is so clueless. Roger Alexander, you're so clueless. Lawyers do not analyze intelligence. Intelligence is something that's based on data that is accumulated by intelligence agencies. And if you accumulate enough data of that intelligence, it can turn to evidence for charges to be laid. You got this so-called intelligence and you took it to use as a system to incarcerate people for months without any evidence, without any witness, without any statement, without any charge. That shows total incompetence at the highest level. And because of that, he is still there. And I would love to hear the chair of the National Security Council, who I support, who I wish the best, who I will always be willing to provide and give free advice. But you have made a major blunder in selecting undoubtedly the most incompetent minister in the history of Trinidad and Tobago.
Right. And, you know, even as it pertains to the effect that was intended by leaking this audio, persons are, you know, stating that this possibly has had the opposite effect when they would have expected persons to say, well, okay, this is the reason why she's arrested. Persons have opposing views. Now persons are actually in support, stating that they themselves may have said worse things in their own private conversations about the state of the economy or things or decisions that the government has been making. Do you think that now the interception of communication may not be as effective because persons would always have in the back of their minds that this conversation can be recorded?
Yeah, definitely. This has totally backfired on the state. If whoever was the clown who felt that, okay, we're under real pressure by having to release the hadiths because the Privy Council slapped us in the back of our head and told us you all had to be crazy, and then they rushed in there because remember, Roger Alexander again misled the country to say, well, we are releasing Mr. Hadi based on the medical report. Well, if that's the case, why release the female, his wife, for? She was the one in the conversation. Secondly, that medical report, his defense attorneys submitted that 4 weeks ago, and you ignored it. So in this situation now, what has happened is that, yes, the people have lost total trust and confidence in the system. They are fearful. They are mortified that they're going to be targeted. And all of this is based on people having private conversations. The private conversation by this lady, as prejudiced as it was, it is not a crime. It is not an illegal act. Somebody's saying that I wish something happens to somebody in a private conversation is not a crime. That is why they couldn't charge the hadiths. That's why they couldn't find evidence. So that's why they had to turn to the PDO. A PDO is a system used based on incompetence by law enforcement to charge people. So because you don't have charges, you use a PDO and use it and call it credible intelligence. What is the credible intelligence? A 70-year-old lady who sells cheese ranting and venting to someone who's just listening attentively and saying very little. And you use that as a justification, not just to incarcerate those two persons, but the husband based on that. So if the plan was, let us send out that recording so that we could get public support, it has totally backfired because each and every citizen could relate. You know, I might have said something along that line, maybe not racist, but I have voiced my concern about this government, about the opposition, about the commissioner before. Is that now going to be used against me to have me arrested? And with that, there's not one person who could be in support of such an action. So the reason why them sending it forward and leaking this has totally backfired because what the country has now seen is, wait a minute, what she said is inappropriate, granted, but where's the crime? What is the evidence? How does this have to do with Mr. Hadid? And if that is the case, you are continuing to hold a lady based on her voicing her concern and then have the audacity to state, well, the others were held because they have the resources. So resources becomes a factor to take away a person's right to freedom. So two vagrants can say they want to kill Gary Griffith if he's commissioner. That's okay. But if two rich people say they want to kill Gary Griffith, then we should arrest them because they have the resources. That is mind-boggling to think that a minister could be so clueless to make a statement like that.
Understood. And for persons wondering, what exactly does it mean to have one's communication intercepted or have your lines tapped, as we say? And what is the process to get that done? Is it that a warrant has to be issued for the intelligence unit to have that access to intercept one's communication? Or someone who works in the unit can just type in your number and just start listening to your phone calls?
No, it's not that easy. It's not that easy, thankfully. Pre-2010, there was a situation where the then Prime Minister, instructions were given to the SIA at the time. It was known as the SIA before the SSA. And 53 persons who were deemed as opponents to the then PNM government, our phones were being intercepted. Kamala Prasad Bissessar, Keith Rowley, Gary Griffith, Winston Ducaran, Arnold Roberts, Anand Ramlogan, a few, both even people in the PNM. And when we got into government, we then formed what was known as IOCA, the Interception of Communication Act, that made it mandatory that only 3 persons have such authority, no longer the politicians, which would have been the Chief of Defense Staff, the Commissioner of Police, and the Director of the SSA. However, the Director of the SSA is a political tool. He or she is appointed by the government. So if it is I appoint you, I say, listen, I want you to find something on this person. All the Director has to do is do a report and say, intelligence has revealed. And using the word intelligence, it now gives you authority to intercept your phone. The warrant now comes based on the fact that we have heard enough that we feel now we can now start recording and use as evidence in court. But you don't need a warrant. So any of those 3 persons have authority to immediately say, look, I want to have a tap done on someone. But there must be credible evidence. Credible evidence is subjective because remember, in the PDO, it's just using the word credible evidence. Look at the credible evidence used by Roger Alexander to arrest the Hadids and Star Sabga. There was no credible evidence. So anybody could, just like what happened with Keith Rowley when he got a retired police officer to write a report littered with lies, stamp secret, call it an intelligence report, give it to Blissy Prasad to withdraw meritless and cause the Police Service Commission to collapse. That is how dangerous the word credible intelligence is. It is subjective. Anybody could use it and use that as justification. The last PNM government used credible intelligence to tell the United States that the Special Operation Response Team was involved in extrajudicial killing. And unfortunately, by giving lies to the US blacklisted SWAT, and SWAT was the most instrumental unit that put an end to kidnapping, home invasion, extortion, and pegback gangs. But that is how dangerous credible intelligence is. So using credible intelligence, it has now allowed the minister to direct the director of the SSA to tap anybody's phone who you might not like, who might be an opponent to the government, listen to what they say, and hope that we can now find something in the hope that we can have you arrested, which is you're doing it back to front. You must have credible intelligence first to justify tapping the phone, and then if you tap the phone, then you could say, no, we hear enough to have a warrant to record what was put to use as evidence in court. They have totally mixed it up, and because of that, they have embarrassed the country, they have embarrassed the government. It has caused every single citizen to be fearful, and I demand there must be an immediate overhaul of this system that allows any of these 3 persons just to pick up and say, let's just intercept the phone of persons and hope that we can find something to then get a warrant to have them arrested.
Right, and it seems as if the public is just waiting on that counter suit or that lawsuit to come from the Hadids based on this case. Are you of the same opinion that, you know, taxpayers' money would definitely have to come into play to rectify this situation?
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be tens of millions of dollars that you, me, and everybody who pays taxes have to see about, thanks to Roger Alexander. Roger Alexander made this mistake. And it is not just the Hadids. Let me tell you, there are 200 people incarcerated indefinitely. When I hear the government blowing trumpets about, whoa, look, crime has gone down, the dumbest minister could be appointed, the dumbest commissioner could be appointed. If you have a law that gives you authority to lock up anybody who you feel might commit crime, and you lock them up, obviously crime will go down. And that is why public trust and confidence in the police service is still less than 8%. When I left it, it was 59%. Because you're trying to, it's like you want to play a football game against someone and you decide to have a roadblock to stop them from turning up to the game on time. And then when you win by default, you both said, look, we got 3 points. That's not how you deal with security. So in this situation, we have totally dropped the ball. There's going to be lots of lawsuits. The 200 persons incarcerated indefinitely, they do not have the finance to have done what the Hadids did. They went with SC, they were ready to go to the Privy Council. And because the Privy Council picked up and said, wait a minute, Trinidad and Tobago government, you all did your nonsense and you all trying to rush us, boy, gone from here. And because of that, the government realized what the Privy Council was coming with. The Privy Council was going to embarrass the government, that you arrested people without evidence, without charges, and held them because you feel that they have the finances to do what somebody else was talking about in confidence. That was never a crime. Could never be a crime. It is unethical, it is not appropriate, but it is not a crime. And if they knew the Privy Council was going to embarrass them, so they took front. And that's why they used the excuse about the medical report. So yes, it is going to cost the taxpayers, but our international reputation has been badly damaged.
Understood. Well, we want to thank you so much for being on with us this morning and giving us those perspectives on that leaked audio that has been circulated in the public domain over the weekend. Again, we want to thank you for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break right here and we'll be back after this. See you soon.
Tobago, are you ready to celebrate culture, color, and creativity? Then make Heritage Haven books and things your first stop this Heritage Festival. Step into a world of vibrant African wear, handcrafted accessories, unique gifts, local authors, and inspiring books for every age. Whether you're dressing for the festivities or searching for something special, Heritage Haven has something just for you. Heritage Haven books and things where culture comes alive. Visit us today at the Scarborough Esplanade and discover treasures. Celebrate culture where read it, live it.
Every village has a story. Every tradition has a voice. This July 16th to August 1st, discover them all at the 2026 Tobago Heritage Festival. This year's theme, Let We Tell the Whole Story, invites you to experience the customs, resilience, and rich cultural legacy that continue to define Tobago. Join us for unforgettable performances, village celebrations, and authentic cultural experiences across the island. The Tobago Heritage Festival 2026. Let we tell the whole story. Visit TobagoFestivalsCommission.com for event details.
Coming up, Barbados kicks off festival season with Crop Over, where you can live like a local. Moments of discovery and joy during Culinary Month in Antigua and Barbuda. Find that hero within you. As these women of vision share their stories of success, Caribbean Passport TV, your guide to what's happening in the region, here on this station.
As small Caribbean islands, we do need to remember that we can't do it individually. The Caribbean needs to work as a whole. From something as simple as pooled procurement of medicine or pooled procurement of equipment, to sharing training, to having centers of excellence in different islands. Working together as one, we can become giants.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Wait. We are going airport. Come back this way. Catch you roundabout and go down. Right here. Leave on time to be on time.
Today we are here at the new A&R Robinson International Airport, and we are doing a simulation along with the Airport Authority and the TTPS to do some observation for the traffic plan that we have implemented for the opening of the new terminal building. So starting Wednesday, July 22nd, the Division of Public Infrastructure and Transportation along with the TTPS will be at this intersection, and we will be implementing a traffic plan. Just continue around the circle. What is important in this entire traffic arrangement is that if you are coming from Crown Point, you're coming from the west and you want to go further east than the airport terminal, we advise that you either use Milford Road, go onto Silcotton Trace, and use one of the side streets between Milford Road and Tobago Local Road. All traffic between Kilgwin Bay Road and Gaskin Road will be coming west only. So that is one of the important points that we have to get into our systems as we learn to navigate around the new arrangements at the new A&R Robinson International Terminal going forward. But we want to assure you that we will help you to get used to it. We will circulate information. We will be here at the intersections along with the police while you get used to the arrangement to assist you in circulating and to getting to where you need to go safely and quickly.
Nice.
If I have to call a supervisor one more time to sign off on a customer because their financials are in a mess, I will scream.
Don't scream in a bank. That have lockup in it.
It's either they're not registered properly, or you know what? We could just forget about annual returns, right?
Compliance is a bad word to most of them. All your compliance out of here. But let me eat.
What is wrong with Trinbagonians? I mean, it has so much help they could get out there.
Well, you know, Trinis, we don't like to spend we money.
But you know what? Be comfortable with losing we money. That make it any financial
What people should do is call Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago.
Wait, what? Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago?
Anderson in Trinidad and Tobago Tax and Accounting Services. Yeah, they offer helping from registering your business to filing your tax. My lunch is over.
Wait, tell me more.
No, go and scream in the bank. You go and scream in the bank.
No, I don't get one sooner.
Our world is filled with rhythm. Rhythm that's unapologetic, infectious, timeless. Rhythm is commitment in action. It's how we show up for each other with unrelenting support that goes the distance. Rhythm lives in the tiny beats of our most intimate moments and the seismic roars of our biggest achievements. Rhythm is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the rhythm back. At Flow, we understand your rhythm because we live it. That's why we're dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You're at the heart of everything we do, and our commitment is to keep your rhythm flowing, no matter what.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple.
Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue our conversations this morning and we're talking all about music festival preparation and what you are going to do with the kids if you have not already decided what you're doing with them this summer. This morning, I have the privilege of sitting right here in studio and chatting with Mr. Curtis Collins, who is the PRO of the Tobago Music Association, as well as the president of the Music Association, Dr. Vivian Amata. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Chanel. A pleasure to be here.
Now, this morning we're talking about your collaboration with the Division of Education, Skills and Innovations Multicultural Unit to have this music camp. Well, festival camp, we should say, because it's more than just music. It's all things drama. You know, it's just getting the youths involved in the arts on a whole. Good morning again and welcome. Tell us a bit about this Music Festival Development Academy.
Well, the Academy is a collaboration between the Tobago Music Association and the Multicultural Unit of the Division of Education. And its main purpose is to create an avenue for our young musicians to identify their talents, to nurture their talents, and then obviously prepare them to excel in the upcoming festival. So that's the main objective of this camp.
Right, and one thing that I've learned this morning is that this camp is totally free.
Definitely.
And it's still open to registration. Tell us a bit about that, Dr. Amata.
Yes, so this is being funded by the Division of Education, Innovation and Skills. And we have gotten tutors from TPAC, from National Philharmonic Orchestra, and tutors within Tobago. And we're actually excited about the high quality of the tutors we have. So let the children come out and get it. So we're doing woodwind, woodwind strings like violin, guitar, acoustic guitar, of course singing, drums, percussion. So we have it at there are 5 different centers, different schools on the flyer you'll see. So and pan, of course, the national instrument. We cannot not have the national instrument. So come and they will get all of that. It's a great way to spend the vacation, and they're going to benefit.
Right.
Beyond.
I mean, you know, so many of these kids are so dramatic at home. You know, it's time to give them that avenue that they can truly express their talents in an environment that facilitates the level of growth and practical training that is needed to help them hone their core talents and abilities. You said that there are a number of centers. I see that there's the Montgomery Government Primary School as well as Scarborough RC. So there are different things happening at different schools. Tell us a bit about that. If you look on the flyer, you can see that there as well.
Yes, so we have 5 main categories we are hoping to hit for this music festival camp. And I just want to reiterate that it's not just a camp for the music festival, but it's also a camp for developing music on the island. So we have 5 centers. The first center is going to be the Montgomery Government School. And here we're going to have the strings and the woodwind instruments. As Dr. Amata said, we're going to have persons coming from the National Philharmonic Orchestra. We're going to have our principal clarinetist, who actually is a Tobagonian, going to be spearheading that section. We also have percussion, which is going to be happening at the Scarborough RC School. We have voice, which is going to be happening at the Scarborough Methodist School. At Mason Hall Secondary, we're going to have the the first steel pan studio. And then at Goddard High, we're going to have the second steel pan studio. So please bring out the kids, have them involved and exposed to all the different levels of music. And in the camp, we are also focusing on several key factors. We're going to start with musical literacy. So we're going to have them learn how the basics of music, how to read music. Then we're going to deal with the ear training. We're going to deal with rhythmic training. Then we are going to deal with technique, vocal technique, instrumental technique, and to help them get that technique needed to master the instrument. Then we're going to help them with the performance, how you actually perform on a stage, how you have your stage presence, to get rid of the stage fright as well.
Right. Dr. Amata, tell us a bit about what level of knowledge is required from each student coming. Are they coming from base level? Should they at least know how to read music? What do they need to know?
They don't need to know anything. They can come at all levels, and we will, teach them. And I just want to stick a pin, because I was listening to your interview just now, your conversation about the SOE and PDO and so on. And I just want to give you a quote from the Office of the Justice Programs in Washington, D.C. They have a different approach to crime prevention. And they say by allowing youth to use their creative talents, arts and performances help youth develop a sense of identity, independence, discipline, and self-worth. And research has shown that students who participate in band, orchestra, chorus, or drama are significantly less likely than non-participants to drop out of school, be arrested, use drugs, or engage in binge drinking. So I just want to put it out there that investing in quality music education for your children is a nicer way of reducing crime in the country.
Right, understood. And so we are of the understanding that persons can just walk into the centers today,
Yes.
right? What is the arrangement for parents to make for the students? Is there transportation available? Do they have to get the kids to the different centers? Because if someone is living in Crown Point and they're interested in Pan, do they have to make the trek all the way up to Mason Hall? Would lunch be provided? Should they pack lunches for their kids? Tell us a bit about the logistics of it.
So in terms of logistics, we have to ask the parents and guardians to shop the students to the respective studios. In terms of time, starts at 9, ends at 2 o'clock. In terms of lunch would not be provided. So we do ask the parents and the guardians to provide or pack lunches and snacks. Most of the schools will have their cafeterias closed, so the students would not be able to purchase anything. So we do advise that parents and guardians provide or bring or pack the necessary food items for each student.
Understood. Tell us a bit about why it's important to have these collaborations with the multicultural unit for the benefit of Tobago students, and also how does this camp tie into the actual music festival that's going to be happening?
So I will go first with my vision. Vision for Tobago students is that they will build on the VAPA curriculum, which was created by the former Minister of Education. So that's the visual and performing arts. So that includes theatre arts, drama, dance, and music. So there is actually a primary school curriculum, because the studies have shown that children who get that exposure, they perform better at school, they're more disciplined, it is an outlet for their emotions, they better teamwork, less absenteeism, etc. So, and then those who have that quality music education, music is like a CrossFit training for the brain. So it improves your hearing, your memory, your critical thinking skills, and in particular the maths and science part of the brain. It really gets that going. And also even the arts. And I want to give the example of the Ultrasonics band from Bishop's High School. This is a set of alumni. In fourth form, they formed a band. And the members of the band, you got a judge, a cardiac surgeon, 3 civil engineers, Garth Williams, who's in charge of radio tambourine, your radio show host, your soca parang artist. I went to Bishop's High School in Guyana. Out of our school orchestra, we got a neurosurgeon, well, I'm an anesthetist, somebody who's a radiologist. We got about 3 attorneys, a couple professors. And I remember when we did in those days, we called it A-level exams. The top 13 persons, 4 of them were from our orchestra. So it improves you want to raise the level of academics, get your children into music. Excellent. You want to reduce crime, get them into music.
Well, you could not have said it any better. So, ladies and gentlemen, this morning we want to remind you that in collaboration with the Multicultural Unit at the Division of Education, Skills and Innovation, the Tobago Music Association is presenting this Music Festival Development Academy that you can still have the opportunity to enroll your kids into. If you're wondering, it's both for primary and secondary school students. So this is your opportunity if you still haven't figured out exactly what to do with them. Yeah, you can get them involved in this camp, right? And so there's vocal performance training, steel band, string and woodwind, African drumming, and non-pitched percussion instruments. Ladies and gentlemen, all right, so this is your opportunity. So that starts today, going all the way up until
August 14th.
August the 14th, and it starts at 9 a.m. and ends at 2 p.m.
And just to know that the poster has Buku Government, but that center has been changed to Montgomery Primary. And we're on a shoestring budget, so feel free to assist.
Yes, so you can definitely reach out to them or contact them to get your kids involved. As you see that there is a QR code on the flyer. You can scan that QR code and you can still register and have your students there. Even if you don't get the opportunity to take them today, you can take them from tomorrow. Again, I want to thank you guys so much for being here with us this morning and telling us all about what's happening. And indeed, that type of expression is important to not just fight crime, but to develop well-rounded students and members of our society here in Trinidad and Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for being a part of this morning's discussions. I want to thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and all that you have been doing and continue to do to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island of Tobago. Again, I am Chanel Felix. Always wishing you a productive day.
We are people in